Coronation Street fans know that behind every powerful performance on the cobbles there is a real person carrying far more than the scripts ever reveal. Right now, one of those people has chosen to speak more openly than she usually does, and the response has been immediate. Alison King, the actress who has brought Carla Connor to life for nearly 2 decades, has broken her silence in a way that has left viewers reassessing everything they thought they knew about the woman behind the factory boss. The headlines have been dramatic. Some have framed her story around past relationships and the word divorce, even though Alison has never actually been married. What she has experienced are 2 very public engagements that ended, long periods of keeping her private life carefully guarded, and most recently, a deeply personal health and family struggle that unfolded while she was filming some of the biggest moments of Carla's life. That combination of old heartaches and new honesty is what has the Coronation Street community talking. Alison first arrived on Coronation Street in 2006 as Carla Connor, the sharp-tongued, fiercely loyal underworld owner whose personal life has always been as turbulent as the business she runs. Over the years, Carla has survived kidnappings, alcoholism, a kidney transplant, multiple marriages, and, most recently, a landmark relationship with Detective Lisa Swain that culminated in the much-celebrated Swarlow wedding. Fans have watched Carla evolve from a glamorous newcomer into one of the show's most complex and beloved characters. Yet the woman who plays her has always preferred to keep a lower profile away from the cameras. That preference for privacy makes her recent decision to open up especially striking. In a TikTok video that quickly circulated among soap fans, Alison spoke with quiet honesty about the months that led up to and followed the filming of Carla and Lisa's wedding. She explained that at the beginning of 2026 her nervous system seemed to need rebalancing. The previous August, she had lost her mother. Then, early in the new year, she caught a chest infection from 2 of the young child actors on set. While filming the wedding sequences, she was coughing constantly. Her right lung and chest were inflamed and painful. At one point, a particularly violent cough left her convinced she had torn an intercostal muscle. The physical effects were only part of the story. Because she could not exercise for months, she put on weight and found herself sliding into depression. Swimming, which she has long described as her therapy, became impossible. Even taking a full breath felt difficult. She spoke of a persistent eye twitch and a sense that her nervous system had gone into a kind of panic mode. A lot of little life stuff, as she put it, had piled up. Yet through it all she continued to deliver the high-stakes scenes that Coronation Street demanded, including the emotional intensity of the Swirla storyline that so many viewers had waited years to see. Fans who had previously criticized perceived gaps in her screen time or questioned her energy in interviews suddenly found themselves confronting a more complete picture. Social media filled with messages of support. Viewers pointed out that no one knows what performers are carrying behind the scenes, and that empathy should always come before judgment. Many expressed admiration that Alison had managed to complete such demanding material while dealing with grief, illness, and the mental toll that followed. The response was a reminder of how protective the Coronation Street audience can be once they understand the human cost of the drama they love. The conversation inevitably spilled over into older chapters of Alison's personal life, the ones that sensational headlines sometimes mislabel as divorces. The truth is more straightforward and, in its own way, more poignant. Alison has never walked down the aisle in real life, though she has come close twice. In the early years of her Coronation Street career, she became engaged to Adam Huckett, a sound technician on the show. The couple shared a daughter, Daisy, born in 2009 after an emergency cesarean. They never married and separated in 2012, remaining determined to co-parent amicably. Alison has spoken in the past about the challenges of new motherhood and the complicated emotions that surrounded Daisy's birth, which coincided with the heartbreaking loss of a child by her co-star Kim Marsh. Before that relationship, she had spent 5 years with former Coronation Street actor Philip Middlemiss, who played Des Barnes. They met in the mid-1990s and for a time appeared deeply happy. Middlemiss once said he loved her to death, and later reflected that she was the only person he had ever really loved. Distance and differing careers eventually pulled them apart. Later still came an engagement to IT consultant David Stuckley, 9 years her junior. They announced their plans in 2019 after a romantic proposal on a sunset cruise. A Greek wedding was scheduled for May 2020. Then the pandemic arrived, the ceremony was postponed, and by May 2022 the couple had quietly separated, having grown apart during the long months of lockdown. Sources at the time described the split as amicable, with both parties wishing each other well. These endings were not courtroom dramas or bitter public battles. They were the quieter, more ordinary heartbreaks that many people experience when life, timing, and circumstances refuse to align. Alison has generally chosen not to dwell on them in interviews, preferring to let the work speak for itself. That restraint is part of what makes her recent openness about health and loss feel significant. She is not rewriting the past so much as allowing fans to see the full context of the present. On screen, of course, Carla's story continues at full pace. The Swarla wedding itself became a cultural moment, celebrated by longtime viewers and new fans alike as a landmark for representation on British soaps. The relationship between Carla and Lisa has given Alison some of the richest material of her career, full of quiet domestic moments, fierce protectiveness, and the everyday comedy of blended family life. At the same time, the show has thrown the newly married couple into fresh turmoil, with the discovery of a body on their wedding night and the ongoing fallout that has tested every relationship around them. Alison has spoken warmly about the domesticity of the storyline and the joy of working with Vicky Myers, noting how the quieter scenes often feel as rewarding as the high drama. Looking ahead, the question many fans are asking is how Alison's recent experiences might shape her approach to the role. Actors who have walked through personal grief and physical limitation often bring an extra layer of authenticity to characters who are themselves surviving crisis after crisis. Carla has always been a survivor. Seeing the actress who plays her openly acknowledge her own vulnerability only deepens the connection viewers feel. There is also the practical matter of workload. Coronation Street is a demanding production, and performers who have recently recovered from significant health setbacks may understandably prioritize balance. Whether that means more selective storylines or simply a greater emphasis on recovery remains to be seen, but the audience's current mood is one of patience and support. Speculation, as always, runs ahead of the facts. Some wonder whether Carla and Lisa's hard-won happiness will face further tests designed to showcase Alison's dramatic range. Others hope for quieter stretches that allow both the character and the actress room to breathe. A few longtime observers note that Alison has stepped away from the show before and returned stronger, and they trust she will continue to make decisions that serve both her craft and her well-being. What unites most of the conversation is a simple recognition. The woman who has given us so many unforgettable Carla moments deserves the same compassion she has often portrayed on screen. In the end, the shocking truth is less about courtroom secrets or sudden revelations and more about the quiet accumulation of ordinary human struggles. Alison King has lost her mother, battled a stubborn chest infection that stole her breath and her usual outlets for stress, and still shown up to film a wedding that millions of people celebrated. She has navigated ended engagements without turning them into public spectacles. She has raised a daughter while maintaining one of the most demanding roles in British television. And when the weight of it all became too much to carry in silence, she chose to speak with honesty rather than polish. That choice has reminded Coronation Street fans why they care so deeply about the people behind the characters. The Cobbles have always been a place where ordinary lives are elevated into drama. Sometimes the drama is already happening off-camera, and the most powerful moment is simply an actress deciding she no longer needs to hide it. Alison King's recent openness does not diminish Carla Connor. If anything, it makes the character's resilience feel even more earned. As the next chapters of both Carla's story and Alison's life unfold, viewers will be watching with a renewed sense of perspective. The factory will keep humming, the relationships will keep twisting, and the actress at the center of it all will continue to bring her own hard-won understanding of survival to every scene. For now, the most important development is the simplest one. She has broken her silence, fans have listened, and the conversation has become a little more human as a result. What do you think about Alison's decision to share these personal details? Have her recent revelations changed the way you watch Carla's storylines? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this look behind the headlines, give the video a like and subscribe for more Coronation Street news and analysis. We'll be back soon with the latest from Weatherfield.